Uh, Thank you for joining us at the Menopause Masterclass Series, where we are bringing experts in from around the world. And I am so excited to have someone that has such wisdom. And I'm going to just ask her to tell us a little bit about your background and why you help menopausal women.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate being here. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Um, Menopause is close to my heart because I experienced it. And I had not such a pleasant experience. And that's like, wow. And I had to scratch and search for information. And that was a problem. It's like, why isn't this information readily available to women? And so I've sort of taken it upon myself to get out there and be a voice and be a resource to help women know that there's information that they don't have to go far to get, because I'm making myself available to educate women about things in menopause that we really don't know. Your doctors really don't tell you, but now that it's become a subject, if you will, for most women now, mainly because of Hollywood and the celebrities who have had issues. And then they came back and said, well, my doctor didn't give me any help, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, okay, then it's an issue, and women are realizing what they're saying is true. And so want to be a resource. So here I am to share the message.
Okay. So, what do women really need to know during menopause, even if their symptoms are not that harsh?
Yeah. So, there's three stages of menopause, which is actually four. There's pre-menopause, when things start getting a little dicey with your cycle. Then there's perimenopause, when your cycle is starting to sputter to an end. It's iffy on and off and heavy and not so heavy. And your body starts feeling different. You don't know why. And that's when you go to your doctor and it says, well, you're probably in perimenopause. And they give you a brochure. That's it. And then when your cycle stops, you're in menopause. But during that time, you can have the symptoms. That's when they start. It can be hot flashes, night sweats, sleep, interrupted sleep. You can have irritations, rashes. The symptoms are massive as to what we can experience, because every woman is different. You just don't know how it's going to affect you. And so I say, what you need to know is that the body's changing. You're not crazy. Even if your doctor dismissed you, there is information. It's enough information now that tells you your body is losing estrogen. It's reducing. And as it reduces, some women have harsh um, effects because of that more than others. Some people say if you're more on the stocky, heavier side, it's not as severe. Maybe not, but I've met some people, women who are more on the slim side. They don't have any problems. Some people breeze through it, and some people don't. So there's no one pill that fits all when it comes to menopause. So the key is that you got to take care of your body and make some adjustments. Yeah.
So, why can't I lose the weight? I hear that question all the time with menopausal women.
Yeah. So because your body's changing, your hormones are doing their own thing. It's cortisol and it's insulin. And we can't eat the way we used to eat and expect to get a different result. We know probably everybody knows that you shouldn't have a sugary breakfast, but we do it anyway. We'll have a Danish, we'll have a muffin, we'll have bread, we'll have all these things that spike our cortisol. And then when you're in menopause, it just settles in one place, normally in your belly. You get the little pudgy donut thing. And it's like the exercises that you used to do don't work anymore because it's being stored in between your organs. So um, you can't lose the weight because we're not addressing it properly. The regular pump iron for women, lift all these weights doesn't work. We're going to have to change the type of exercises that we do and change what we eat that is helping us to store the fat.
Okay, so why don't we start with what we eat? What would you say that women should eat, and what are the things that women shouldn't eat while they're in menopause?
Uh, it goes in stages, and again, it depends on the woman, but most of the time you need protein in the morning, not sugar. You need proteins. When you're sleeping at night, we're the body's dehydrated. So when we wake up in the morning, we should be drinking like water or something, even peak and dehydrate, depending on what kind you drink. But you need liquids in the morning to well, I'll say make your body more fluid because you're dry pretty much. And then if you start in with sugar, the sugar just kind of binds because you've got all these chemicals in what you're eating, and it doesn't give the body a chance to break the fast properly. So liquids and fruit is good. Shakes are good if they've got the right amount of protein in them because you can get a good protein from your shakes, but not too much fruit because people say, well, I have a smoothie in the morning with four fruits. You just spike your sugar because you got blueberries and strawberries and bananas and something like that. That's too much fruit, too much sugar. But you can put some fruit in your shake. That's a good protein source. And coffee is good, but not too much. You still need water. You need to liquefy fluid needs to be going in your body to help you so you won't be dehydrated. And then, of course,
Okay.
eggs. Eggs is a good protein and a meat source. Yeah.
Mhm. So, what should women absolutely avoid having while they're in menopause to would really cause more symptoms?
Mm. Oh my goodness. Sugar, of course. Um, Caffeine can affect some women different than others. You
Mhm.
have to know how your body responds to caffeine. If you're having pains in your body, you may want to check and see and do like a food diary or either just experiment and see how you feel when you drink caffeine and when you don't drink caffeine. Sodas, because most of the time it's 50% sugar.
Mhm.
Colas are not good because they have the caramel in them. Check the sodas or carbonated drinks that you're drinking. And then sometimes for women, chocolate is not good. It really just depends on the person, but everything is a test. Check it if when you have it and when you don't. How does your body respond? That can trigger the symptom. And then alcohol. People say red wine, liquor, all of that not good for women in menopause. You don't really, it's maybe good to relax, but again, you're going to see how your body responds when you don't have a drink and when you do. Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the things that can trigger symptoms like hot flashes, night sweats, interrupted sleep, UTIs, anxiety, anger?
Yeah.
The list goes on.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It really is. It is what we eat. We have to realize that processed foods are not our friends. It may be quick and easy, but really the chemicals that are in processed foods, they say always eat around the perimeter of the grocery store and not the inside. Because if you look at the ingredients, now they're putting on there that this product contains bioengineered ingredients, which means it's non-GMO. It is GMO, sorry, genetically modified foods, which has the chemicals and glyphosate. So that is a major issue with food now. It's over processed, and you got your ultra processors. If you have the choice when you go to the grocery store to get eggs, liquid eggs is not the same as having an egg. So all the things they've done to substitute whole real food for processed modified food is causing the body to have problems. And the least ingredients is always the best. Pure food, real food works better in the body. And once you change what you eat, and some people say, don't eat meat. Meat is good, I think. If you buy whatever meat that you get, it should be organic, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, if you can eat beef. And same thing for your chicken. Make sure there is air chill rather than, the other chicken, which has been in a chemical substance. So they make a difference, but just have to change how we buy and watch the ingredients on packaging. At least as possible. Everybody needs a treat every once in a while, but it's good to good. You can have a pizza once in a while, but
Just once in a while.
just once in a while, not every day. Yeah,
So when women are usually the people that everyone in the family relies on, right? We're
yeah.
pulled this way and that way. We're caregivers,
Hmm.
during menopause and all sorts of other things, running businesses, etc.
Yeah,
So, how do we deal with all of that while we're dealing with menopause?
yeah. So the main key, which I have found, is that we're being pressed, stressed, if you will, and that's where the anxiety comes. But we're losing nutrients, and that's really the whole crux of menopause. Because your estrogen drops, you're low in progesterone, you may have little or no testosterone. So your hormones are just kind of willy nilly. They're just having a party, didn't tell you about it. They just show up and it's like, hot flash, they just go through all the things. But what I found is that the body's losing nutrients. You're you're aging while you're going through menopause, but your bones are changing as well. So we're losing collagen, and we need to make sure that we are filling up our tank for the things that we're missing, we're losing, we're getting low on. So collagen is one of them. The other thing is calcium and then magnesium. And now the doctors are telling you it's like, oh, most people are having a deficiency in magnesium. Yes, indeed. So all those three things are major when you're aging, going through menopause because you're losing them. And to avoid brittle bones, and falls and breaks, you could slip and fall, but you shouldn't break anything. And that's where the
Mm.
collagen comes in. That's where the calcium comes in to keep your bones strong and healthy. And we know weight bearing exercise is good as we age, which is very helpful. And then with the other nutrients that the body needs. Vitamin D is very important. And there's a host of other nutrients that we need, but that helps us with brain health. We need essential fatty acids for our brain health and heart health. So to avoid heart attacks, a lot of women, I guess the statistics show that women have more heart attacks during menopause or in postmenopause. Why? Because we're not the heart is like it's straining to keep it going because it's losing the nutrients. So keeping the heart healthy is very important during menopause. And so getting it the right nutrition helps it. So your brain, your heart, and your bones, all of these things are key as we age. And so getting the right nutrition in the body helps it so there's not a strain, it's not pulling. Because when the body doesn't have enough calcium, it pulls from other organs trying to get what it needs. And that's when we have problems. So I say we want to nutrify and fill up our tank of nutrients so that the body can function properly. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Now, can I get some relief without medication?
Yes. I say
Okay.
the natural way, natural health is the way to go. That's right. Yeah. And when you think about it, maybe people don't know this. Most medicines, prescriptions are made from a plant. We just said, let's use the actual plant itself and the essential oils to get the body back healthy again. So for every probably pill and chemical they have, there's a natural substitute or alternative to nutrition. And so let's go natural. Let's do natural supplements. Let's do um, food, real food to get the body back healthy again. And if you do it for a period of time, you will see what a difference it makes. The body doesn't need chemicals, it needs food, real nutrition.
The edges of the supermarket.
Is it what?
The edges of the supermarket,
That's right.
not all those chips and
Yes, yes.
various
You
things that
know,
we
yeah.
can't
And eating
even
healthy.
we cannot even process them. Our microbiomes are not set up to have all
Yeah.
those emulsifiers and all the various other things that are non-foods.
Yes, that is true. The body's like, what is this? And it rejects it. And it's
Yeah,
fighting itself, trying to get it out of its system. And that's a problem. And then one thing I want to caution people on is like, just because you hear it on the internet, oh, you should buy this, this is good for you. Do not just take one product and put it in your body just because they said it's good. I had a client, she's a client now. She heard that was it turmeric? Something she took and it damaged her liver. And that's like, how much of it did you take? And then she
right.
told me, I was like, yeah, the key is that, everybody's putting out information, but it's not always true. There's more to the story. So when you work with somebody who knows nutrition, knows how to put the nutrition together, because most of the time there's cofactors that go with every natural product. Vitamin D needs K2. You know, if you use turmeric, you need black pepper, and on and on. So everything
Right.
the body needs to be able to utilize it for your benefit. So don't do a one-off thing just because you heard, oh, this is good, this is good. No, no, no. Make sure you work with somebody who can help you to put it right so your body can use it safely. Yeah.
Well, I've also really, because I very much believe in eating flowers and eating widely, and I eat a lot of things that I forage, but I've been doing
Yeah.
it for my whole life. I started
Yeah.
doing this when I was literally a little kid.
Okay.
So that information is not translated very well into
Mm.
AI. So when you ask a question, Dr. Google, right,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
doesn't necessarily give the right information for you.
Right.
What I'm hearing you say is that what works for you might be different than someone else that you know, a friend trying to help you, or this or that. You have to notice how things make you feel.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I understand where you're coming from.
There's no one size fits all for nutrition or anything like that because everybody's body's different. We got different blood types, and our systems are different. So you really
Right,
have to know your body and pay attention. Your body's speaking to you and telling you that every symptom is saying something. I don't like this, or I can't use this.
right.
Do a little investigation. Yeah.
Yeah. And AI can't do that for you.
Not a can't. Not a can't.
I know that a lot of my friends are lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, like they now say like 70% of the globe.
Yeah.
But you give me any, I mean, I eat heavy cream, I have, all sorts of cheese. I love cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of
Delicious.
people who can't have that.
Yeah.
How does that sort of situation affect menopause?
Some allergies are popping up. Acne is popping up with people with menopause now. But you mentioned it earlier when we were talking. It's your gut. Your gut microbiome is off. And if you've taken any antibiotics in the last year, it always wipes out your good bacteria because it's killing everything, killing the bacteria and whatever's causing the problem. But if you don't put back the good bacteria, then your gut is off. Your microbiome is off. And so, therefore, things that you're eating may not have such a good time. Down your stomach is rumbling and carrying on. It's not having a good time because there's nothing to help it defend itself. The bacteria, it's like, oh, we killed it all, but there's no good. There's no army of good. So people should be taking good probiotics to put back the good bacteria. a lot of time that resolves the issues of allergies and lactose intolerance because, they just need some help to get their digestive system back into balance, if you will. Yeah.
So, what do you use instead of medications to help some of your clients?
We have a strand of probiotics and particular products. We have some proprietary products that we use to help the gut get back into sync, get back into a balance. Because, some people, we know about alkaline and acidic. And so we need to get that balance going as well. So all of these things, a couple of other things need to be done in the digestive system so that you're not burping, belching with gas and things like that. All of this is digestion up, up, upheaval. But once we can quiet down the gut, then that will most of the time eliminate a lot of the issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I think a lot of people have heard of the microbiome and they've heard
Mhm.
of like probiotics, but I think I've also heard of prebiotics and things like that. Could
Yeah.
you explain that a little bit more?
Okay. So the prebiotics you take, that's your everyday stuff, your everyday good bacteria every day. So it just keeps your system in alignment because you want to protect your stomach lining. You want to protect yourself. And one thing I want to say is um, your stomach needs stomach acid. And so carbonated drinks are tasty. Every once in a while you want your little, fizz or whatever. But you reduce your stomach acids when you're drinking carbonated drinks with your food. You want your stomach acid to be very acidic so that whatever hits it is like it's working and chomping it up as fast as possible. But when you're drinking carbonation with it, it slows it down. So what happens? Your stomach doesn't break down the food like it should, and it takes it longer to go down through the tract. And that's how people get leaky gut because they've interrupted that digestive process. So prebiotics would help you to do that. And then if you're going to drink carbonated, either drink it before, drink it after, but not with food. And then for your probiotics, you can have those. Normally, if you've had some antibiotics, your probiotics must come to the rescue to get you back on track. But you can take prebiotics every day, probiotics every day, just to keep your stomach in balance. And know if you do have to take some antibiotics, you're not as much off of the grid as you could have been if you weren't taking them. So you can take prebiotics every day.
So, when you're taking antibiotics, can you
Mhm.
keep taking probiotics and prebiotics?
You would not normally know because you want the antibiotics to do its thing to clear out all the bad. And once you finish them, because they always say, take every last drop of whatever the antibiotics is. And then once you're finished, then you go in with the army of good. That's what
I
I would
see. Okay.
suggest. Yeah.
So, do people in the phase of life of menopause,
Mhm.
do they have less microbiome action than other people in other stages of life?
They could, if, it's always based on your lifestyle. How are you eating before? The fried food, the greasy food, the seed oils, all of those determines how your digestive system is working. If you ate poorly before menopause, it's not going to be well for you in menopause because those things are causing problems, and we know now that seed oils are not good for us. We know fried foods and all those other chemicals, not good for us. So in menopause, you want to eat as clean as possible because you want your body to get a reset and not store fat because you're just piling on more junk, I would say, because it's processed and it's got a lot of chemicals, it's got a lot of filters in it, fillers, excuse me, a lot of fillers in it, and ingredients that we can't even pronounce, and they're just not good for us. So if you look at the ingredients and look them up online, they'll tell you, oh, this is a petroleum product. Why do you need petroleum in your body? Oh, this is, you know, soy or whatever, or, you can't digest it. Your body can't digest it and it just slows you down. That's why you have low energy and you're sluggish and you just don't feel good. And then you start getting the extra weight because your body can't process it. If it can't process it, it can't eliminate it properly. So, yeah.
Okay, so what are your clients concerned about as they age in postmenopause?
They're concerned about a lot of things. So, one of the things they're concerned about is memory, of course, because there's too much dementia, Alzheimer's around for people. You can forget something, that's not a big deal, but don't put yourself and don't start talking about it because your words are very powerful. Don't start talking about, oh, I'm losing my memory. Oh, I can't remember anything. No, turn that around, and sticky notes are wonderful. Make yourself a note. If you're busy and you got a lot of stuff going on, either a calendar or a sticky note to remind yourself. You don't have to remember everything like that because, at some point, you might forget. So what? But if it's a pattern, then you make sure that you're eating proper food that will help for brain health. And of course, all your green and leafy vegetables are good. Your vegetables with color, like your peppers, if you can eat them, are good for you. And with that, you want to have what they call essential fatty acids, your DHEA, and omega 3s, because most of the time, omega 6s it is in the food that we eat anyway, because of the oils. But your body needs more D3, DH3. So essential fatty acids, EFA3s. That should be something good for brain, good for heart health.
And where can you find that in a natural state?
Um, Normally called fish oil or flaxseed oils, but you have to be careful with those because sometimes they go rancid. And so you want to get that which has the least amount of products in the fish oil. In the krill oil is fish oil, krill oil, and sardines is another one that's very good for essential fatty acids. All your fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are your fish that are good for that. But then the supplements would be the essential fatty acids, three. Yeah, that would be recommended. So brain health is important as we age, and then bone strength. You got to take care of your bones. People are concerned about falling, breaking a hip, ending up in a care facility. So you don't want to be in memory care. You don't want to be in nursing care because you're in a wheelchair and you can't get around. So you got to take care of your bones. And it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're over 50 to have a DEXA scan, which is a bone density scan to see how strong your bones are. And you can find out if your bones are porous. So get a little prevention going on here. And that way you'll know, oh, I need to get some help for my bones and don't be taken by surprise. Your doctor your most everybody's health insurance will pay for it. So it's no cost out of your pocket. So that would be a recommendation. Yeah.
Are there any final tips you have about menopause and the changes that happen?
Yeah. Be proactive. I mean, it's like people suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer in silence. Whether you tell your girlfriend, your mom, or somebody else, there's a lot of natural substances out there that will help you in menopause. You may have to do a little experimentation But, I work with clients and I help them. I have my own line of products that I work with clients on. But, try something. Don't just suffer through it because you don't have to. And you must take care of your body during menopause because menopause is forever once you get into postmenopause. So post means after menopause, you would be still in menopause. So that's when the care is just as important while you're going through it. We going through this phase, the midlife portion of life for women. Take care of your body, take care of your bones, take care of your brain, and all it takes is getting your body some nutrition. Just like when you were a kid, you would feed your kids whatever vitamins, I think Flintstone vitamins or whatever, one a day, because they were growing. And because we're on the other end of the spectrum now, we're losing nutrients. We need to fill that tank back up again with the nutrients that we need to keep us strong and healthy through the rest of our life so we can age well. We can still be mobile. We can still have energy and strength. We can still be sharp. We can do all the things that we used to do, and we can do it well.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, I think that this was a masterclass in how to really notice what you're doing first, right?
Yes.
And then make one simple change and see how it affects you,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And then see, hey, I'm feeling better because now I'm taking probiotics,
Yeah.
right? So I think that you're saying people need to take charge of their health.
Yes, they do. They can be the boss. I say you can be the boss of your health. Don't let the hormones drag you around. You can be the
There
boss.
you go. And that's what this whole talk was titled.
Yes.
Be the boss of your health.
That's
And
right.
I absolutely agree with that sentiment.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. I
So
appreciate it.
thank you. And I hope that lots of people are going to follow up with everything that you're offering.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate being here.